Hey critters, welcome back to Crafts and Critters. So we're continuing with the next part to our scrapbook, and what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over and we're going to add a picture to the back, and I've kind of already started working on that, and I'm going to show you my plans, and we're going to work on the page that will be next to it as well. So I did stick with yellow for both, although you're not going to really see much of the yellow on this, and here's why. We're going to put this aside for a second, and we're just going to focus on this at the moment. So as you can see, I started putting this burlap ribbon, and it's this ribbon here, and I had this in my Thanksgiving and fall stash. I think I found this one at, Walmart, I guess. I got this at Walmart. Who knew? Alright, so what I did is, two things. The first thing is for the outside, this outside ribbon part here, I went in, and this is a wired ribbon, so as you can see, I could push up the fabric, and here's the wire right here. And I just grabbed a hold of that, and I actually found that I just used my little sewing tool here that grabs needles if you're going through stiffer fabric, and it just yanked out that ribbon very, very easily. So we want that gone. And then for the inside here, I actually trimmed it off. And the reason that we're trimming that off is because of the excess bulk, because we're going to be putting a picture over it. So we're just clipping this off. Right. Oops, having a little problem at the end here. There we go. Alright, so that goes off. And then we're going to start with gluing. And I'm going, see at the top here, we got this little color going on here. So I had this piece of the ribbon that I cut off, and I'm going to flip it so that we have this color at the bottom. And, hold on, let me push up some stuff out of my way here. I've got a whole bunch of embellishments like right on my table here. So what I did is I kind of just played with the fabric, because we could cut excess off if we need to, just trying to decide, well, where do I like to show a little bit more, and I think that's about where we want it. So I'm going in with the glue gun, because it's the best way to get a burlap to stick onto this, and I also don't want to cover up my holes that are over here. So at least on this side, because that's where we're attaching all these pages together. And then we're going to just go up the side here with the glue as well, and just getting that burlap to stick down. And up at the top here, we are going to follow the curve. And get that to stick. And then here's what I did. Don't worry about the fact that we got this showing right now. We're not going to worry about that. But, and let me get these out of the way. And put my glue gun a little up here out of the way so I don't burn myself. Alright. So what I did with the next part is I took my X-Acto knife, and I just kind of angled it to follow the curve of the glue, and it cuts through it, and the glue should help this from fraying. As you can see, it's staying right with the curve, and we just work back and forth in a sawing motion, and and follow the curve and keep going. And it does get a little tricky here. In fact, I found that I just had to kind of clip this off with the scissors right here. All right, so that's that curve, and then we want to fix the bottom here as well. And we're going to hang on to this for a second. We might need that. All right, so we're going to do the same thing to the bottom, and let's work this way. Almost there. It's harder because this is, I don't have anything to really grip. Let's get the scissors in here. This did fray a little bit. I'm not happy about that, but let's see if we can clean it up with the scissors a little bit here. Not too bad. Just frayed in that one spot. Okay, so now that I got that, we want to place the picture. And now you can see why, looking at the picture, I went with this little fall leaf here of the burlap. We have these two gaps. So I could come in and we could tuck in a leaf. Or we could just place some sticker or some other embellishment in that area too. And I think I might go that route. So I think what I want to do is I want to kind of glue the inside. I did it on this side, but I think I want to glue this down. And it doesn't take much. All right, here we go. Now that'll help with it not popping up. Oop. Sorry, I'm moving my camera a little bit. All right. So what I did is I pulled my November and September stickers, and I'm just gonna look through these off camera. It's kind of hard to place it in front here, and I'm gonna see what I got that we could probably stick in that area. I've got a pumpkin here that might work, and I've got a giant turkey, like a really giant turkey, but his legs will probably still show through the little yellow. No, you might go with the giant turkey. And all right, here's what I got. I got these bigger leaves. We might use that for some dimension. And I have this one turkey. I'm gonna pull them off here. And then I'll put this little album away. Hold on one second. Actually, I got two different turkeys. This guy's a little bit more natural. Let's go with this one. Alright. So I got this little turkey here. So, alright, let me put these stickers aside. Alright, I'm gonna kind of set him right there for a second. And we need to attach this picture first. I think this is gonna work. If we put the turkey here, his little legs could hang off. I think that'd be okay. See, his little legs could hang off. Well, maybe not. Or we could put him up at the top. Now that would cover the No, it's okay to cover that a little bit. Yeah, let's put him at the top, and we could put a series of leaves down at the bottom. So let's get the picture set, and I think because of the burlap, I don't think like your traditional like mounting squares for scrapbooking are going to work, so we are going to go with a little glue. Hate to do that way, but sometimes when you're attaching things to fabric, we want to make sure it's going to stay. Alright, so let's put our turkey in. Ow, I just hit the metal of my glue gun. I think that's going to be great. Right, so there's our turkey, and that covers up that yellow. And then we've got these leaves that we can stick down here. And these might be, I think these are two-dimensional. I really think they need to be, I think it needs to be flatter. So I'm going to rip this apart. And yeah, it needed to be flatter. I'm going to peel this one off the back. And I'm going to use glue gun again. And we're going to slip that in there like that. And then we're going to take a piece of another leaf. Maybe tuck it in. Oh, that's popping off. All right. Actually, I think just like that'll be fine. I could slip that one in there like this. No, it looks a little too much. All right, we'll leave it as is. All right. I think I might have some flatter leaves. Let me see what I got. Oh, this one's got some gold around it. Never mind. Oh, let's throw an acorn in there. And a little yellow leaf. And got an apple over here. Let's throw that all in there. Alright. Okay. Got that. Let's do a little. I'm thinking that we just gotta glue this stuff down. Alright. Doing a little acorn. And then we have this little leaf. Which I think I'm gonna tuck in right there. And then we have a little apple that we're gonna tuck in too. Oh, that looks very nice. There we go. It's Thanksgiving with Nero. So we're going to set this page aside, and actually, hold on, we're going to have to come in here too with some glue, because the stickers are not sticking to this because of the burlap. Here we go. Alright, so there we go with that one. I'm going to keep going. So we're setting that one aside. We're going to come in with this one, And this one is an Easter pick. And what I wanted to do was create some depth on this one. I attached a yellow here on this side. I put in the eyelets already. And this side is going to be gray, so then the next 2 pages will both be gray. So this one is an Easter picture. You can see there's a little bunny in the background here, so this was definitely Easter. And I was thinking that I could add some different color by putting this little shimmer ribbon. It's a orange shimmer around the picture. So you can see it's clipped on there because I wanted to make sure I was getting enough length. So all I did was go along the ribbon here and just run my needle through it, in and out, and then I pulled it tight. Whoops, I'll have to fix that in a second. So then I pulled it tight so that it would curl in like this, and I was almost to the end here, so I'm going to clip this off and so I could fix that piece that I just did. And I'm going to finish this part up here, and I'll be right back on here as soon as I get that done, and we'll attach it and go from there. Okay, so I finished kind of everything. I didn't fully tie it off at the end just yet. We'll piece this extra ribbon. Let's move my scissors. And we're going to get the glue gun back in here again, and we're going to, I'm going to start just somewhere in the picture here. And we want on the very, very edge, this little, so that it comes out looking like this on the other side. And then we're going to come in with some, probably some gems too. So we'll see after we get this done. So I'm going to continue. And this should go relatively quick. We just need to round our corner. And I kind of went through all of my pictures and pre-trimmed them to where I wanted. So, and that I didn't do on camera. That was just kind of like a personal, like, thing that I just kind of did on the side. And, so, but you can, you know, trim up your pictures however you like. Everybody has a preference on what they like to do with them. I'm going to wind up with a little glue here and there. And I need to pull this up a little bit. There we go. So I have a little few pieces here. Keep going here. So we're rounding another corner. It's a little hard to, because it wants to keep twisting up on me. And while it's doing that, then I'm getting glue in places I don't want. So we're going to have to do some pulling off. Once it's dry, we're going to have to play with it here. So let's see if we can get a little bit neater on this. I'm going to try to hold it back, and just, and I'm trying not to use too much glue, but I want it to stay too because I don't want it to move while I'm working on everything. And you see, it has a mind of its own. This fabric is wanting to kind of curl up into a ball because of how I pulled it. getting hot glue all over my fingers. That hurts. Almost there. Oops, I got it distangled. And I need a stick here. Hold on. Almost there. Need to adjust this. This is why I didn't clip it off. I needed to adjust the end a little bit based on how I'm pulling it. There we go. That's better. Oh, my glue stick fell out of the back. It's always happening on this glue gun. It drives me crazy. Let's tilt it this way. Oh, it twisted on me again. Alright, I'm going to have to untwist this. Alright, now this part here, I'm just going to literally clip this off. I don't have to worry about tying like the string or anything off because the glue is pretty much holding everything in place. So we're just gonna come in here a little bit and overlap this. There we go. All right, so there we go. Oh no, it's stuck a little bit. Okay, that's fine. I got it. And this will lay a lot flatter. So that's our picture with the little ruffle added. I'm going to go off camera real quick and I'm going to clean up these glue areas where it twisted and kind of got into my glue, and I will be right back. Hi critters, I didn't realize it stopped recording, so this is the finished page, and what I did is I actually, I'm going to lift this up for a second so you could see, is I used some mounting strips, or mounting squares. Here's the squares, and I doubled them up, and you could get these ones came from the Dollar Tree. So I doubled them up and I placed them throughout the photo just so that the photo doesn't completely push down all of the way. And since this was an Easter pic, I went ahead and I added some Easter eggs along the edges, kind of underneath the fabric that we did. And I added the word Pretty Bird at the top. And that's because he said Pretty Bird all the time. It was his thing. And this is just like the most perfect picture of him. I love this picture the best out of everything that I have. Alright, so there's that page completed, and there's this one side by side. So there are our seasonal pictures that I have of Nero. And I'm hoping that you're continuing to enjoy this series. I do have probably about another 3 or 4 more videos in this series before we actually complete this album. So thank you very much. Subscribe, share. And like I say, thank you.